everyone. Thanks for joining me in the speed shop today. And well, it's that time of year. It's winter, it's cold outside, and it's time to start working on the indoor stuff. So, on my priority list is my FMS 124 scale crawler. Basically, I used to have a hard body on it. Let's see. This is what it comes with, which is an old classic style kind of rig. And I really wanted to try those copper deep dish wheels on it. So that's what I did. And the pin tires were the best tires I could find that were available at the time. Like there was other stuff available, but basically they were out of stock, and these were kind of the new hot thing. So I gave those a shot, and I switched out to the Cliffhanger body so I can get some better performance. And now it just looks silly. These are kind of a narrow tire. Performance-wise, they're great, but these need to be on like a buggy or, I'm going to think I might try them on my Wrangler here. They might look okay because it's just so slammed and whatnot. It might do something there. But I've got some different products that I'm going to try on there that I'm really excited about. Basically, when I first got a 124 scale, I went on Facebook Marketplace. I wasn't even sure I wanted to, and bought this deadbolt right here, which I still have. And I did all kinds of changes to it. I added some brass to it. I was trying to get my center of gravity down and lower it and all that stuff. And then I ran across these wheels, these hot racing wheels that are 40 grams a piece. And I got those and put them on, and wow, the world difference. I was like, that's the only mod you need there. That and a servo, and you're good to go. The only problem is with the wheels is, I guess I'm all worried about how they look, but they work on the deadbolt here, but they don't really work too well on anything else, that's not an older classic kind of car, those kind of moon style or whatever you'd call them. And they're not beadlocks. So you got to glue the tires to them. I tried running them unglued. It just wasn't working out. I mean, you have to glue them. So these aren't a great option for swapping around between different cars and whatnot. But let me show you what I'm going to be switching to that I'm all excited about here. Is first things first was the little guy RC, the Swamp Thing tires. We'll cover those real quick. This tread on here, move it up to the other camera, is really aggressive as opposed to the pin tires. Okay, so aesthetically, that's awesome. All right, everybody says that they've got good traction. I vent all my tires, whether it doesn't matter the scale. And I'm going to use his foams because they're actually pretty soft. So I think they'll work out pretty good. Maybe try something else different later. But for now, I'm going to use the stock foams. The big difference, though, is on the size of the tire. So let's see here. Turn this on. 0. So on height, these pin tires are big. I mean, as compared to, this is probably more of a standard size tire. Just put that right over the top here. You can see how much bigger that pin tire is. You can see it all the way around, almost, if I set it right, get the camera angle right. So much smaller. So these are a giant tire. So they do look cool when you first put them on. But for it being a giant tire, check this out. Let's see, get our size here. Just barely want to touch. So let's 64 and a half, let's say, right around there. And the SwampKings are the same. I think, SwampKings are about the same, maybe 1 millimeter less. But the big difference is going to be in width. So keeping it the same, I'm going to go down, just barely touch. So we're at 20 millimeters. Now I go up to the SwampKings, and as you can see, they're 25. So, I mean, that's 5 millimeters aside. That is 10 millimeters wider. That's a big difference. So, plus they just look so amazing. I can't wait to put them on, which I'm going to start doing right now while I talk about the wheels. So, these I was looking at on some other YouTubers' trucks, and was like, man, those look amazing. I don't even like black wheels, but they look really good with all the screws, and it turns out they're brass. So those hot racing wheels I was talking about a while ago that are 40 grams, These are actually 47, so they weigh a little bit more than the hot racing ones. First off. Second off, they are beadlocks, and they look amazing. So it's kind of a no-brainer. It's not like they are super expensive or anything like that. I'm going to leave these wheel hexes that are on here the same, but it does come, the wheels from Endura do come with these wheel hexes as well, and they are metal wheel hexes. But for now, I'm just going to swap over, make sure I got the right wheels on the back. I trimmed up my foam a little bit for my front ones. Also want to be careful for direction too. So this needs to go on the passenger side because these are like a directional kind of pattern. Okay, so that's that side. So these wheels are got a lot going for them. What they don't have going for them though is putting them together is not fun. It takes the smaller size, not the 1.5, but the size down. I'm not sure what it is, like a 1 or whatever, on the hex tool. And there's so many of them. And so I use Loctite because I didn't want to go down this road again. But so many of the screws felt like they were cross-threading. I do not recommend using a drill for this or impact or anything like that. And I use it for everything. I don't care what anybody says. I use it, but this time it just really felt like I just needed to do it by hand. So I did. I did every one of those screws by hand, and let me tell you, there is a lot of them. But hopefully it's going to be worth an end. But what I'm getting at is just again, it's going to take patience. Or if you don't like fiddling with all those little tiny screws, which I really don't care for, they may not be the wheels for you. They're not complicated. They just take a little bit of patience. I need a nut here, so let's see what I got. 3 millimeters. The other thing is when I was putting them together, they kind of felt a little weird too. I don't know how to explain it. And again, this could just be my experience. I could be completely wrong, or it could just be the tires. When I was putting them together, they just didn't feel right the whole time. They just didn't feel like they were just coming together like they should. And then everything still felt like it was cross-threading. So I just kept on going. Even if something felt cross-threaded, I'd back it out and put it back in and make sure it was good and just kind of press it in. And they went together. The tires are secure. Everything looks fine. But I'm just telling you, have some patience. Don't use a power drill. And then my last tip for the wheels is use a Q-tip. So my first wheel I did, because you're going to have a little bit of overhang on such a small screw with the thread locker. So I waited till the end. I put the whole wheel together, and then I went in and tried to clean up the thread locker. And it already started to dry and stick to the wheels. So have yourself a Q-tip as you're putting them together. And each screw, if you have some Loctite that's coming out, just make sure that you wipe it up right then when it's wet. Okay, so I got one wheel on. Let's check it out. Oh, what a difference. That looks so much better. If I can learn my camera angles here. All right, let's get the other one on here. Front one. But overall, I'm excited though. Aesthetically, plus the extra weight. The only complaints I have, like I said, is just kind of putting the wheels together. It takes patience. It's as hard as any 10th scale that you've put together. That was difficult. Okay, so that's a front, and that's not the right one. The front, outside, perfect. Get this wheel on here and kind of show you the difference. between the two, and then we'll just end the video. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and as soon as I see it, I'll answer it and do what I can. At this point, I don't regret anything I've bought here at all. And for the money, it's crazy. You know, the scale really does change on price. You start getting into fifth scale, and there's nothing cheap. Your upgrades are just crazy. I have a low C5T, and it's probably one of my least modified cars because everything costs so much to upgrade it as opposed to a 10th scale. Okay. What? Get the body on here. All right, let's see. Let's switch back to me. So, there you go. Those tires look meaty and awesome, especially compared to the other ones. Just look like little baby tires, or, you know, I don't know. They don't look great. So that's the updated side. Huge difference. And that's what I started with today. So not only am I going to get, you know, a look out of it, but I'm also going to get some performance too with all that brass. But like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to tune in. I appreciate you watching. And hit the subscribe button. New channel, trying to grow. Appreciate the help. Thank you.